Some miscreant has attacked this second part of this video, A New Heaven and a New Earth. Probably because I've attacked this person, okay? So we're going to re-record it. Play it again, Sam. We're going to go through the scriptures on this point, okay? About what he says here. We'll take the scriptures, because he's not reading the scriptures. He should be reading the scriptures.
That is, will be renewed by the power of God in the last day. I think that's the simple meaning.
Right, okay. But where does he get the meaning from? He gets it from the pit. He's just attacked God for being unjust. It would be an even smaller, minute thing with Jehovah to have said to Adam and Eve and to the serpent, especially to the serpent, as the judge of all the earth, the whole earth sat there in that visitation of the world and set up his court in the circuit of heaven and brought the accused before him. He had the accused brought before him, and he pronounced sentence. He asked them what they'd done. Come on, explain what you've done. Silence in court. Let the accused explain what they've done, why they did it. Come on. And it was not good enough. Their explanation was not good enough. They were sentenced, and the world was sentenced along with them. The judge could have said, in light of what you've done, you are judged, and I'll overturn all righteousness and renew the earth. The earth is fallen, ladies and gentlemen. Original sin, the fall. And it is prepared unto what? Fire. It's reserved unto fire. But we'll come to that later on. I wish to address the scriptures that this fellow here is citing. Revelation chapter 20, verse 1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit. I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong. I'm reading chapter 20. There you go. See how perfect I am? Chapter 21. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. Now, we've dealt with this in this chapter's, the rest of the chapters in our work on the book of the Revelation. This chapter here has to do with redemption. Redemption of the soul. I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. Have we caught on yet? As a Christian, I see a new heaven and a new earth. What happened before this was Calvary. This is the other side of Calvary. This emits from Calvary, comes from Calvary, issues from Calvary. The devil was chained at Calvary. Christ led captivity captive and gave gifts unto men. We're going down back to the basics, aren't we? In the hypostatic union, on Calvary, Christ descended. Paul tells of Galatians, Christ descended. And then he led captivity captive. Because he took what? The armies of heaven behind him, and he faced the devil face to face. The forces of darkness that turned that part of the world black, dark. And he won the battle within the hypostatic union. The body was still on the cross, the physical body, the material body, but the spirit, the divine spirit, had descended to that hell beneath, that underworld. And there were more on the side of Christ than there was on the side of Satan. And Satan got chased off the field of battle of Armageddon. And he led captivity captive. He chained the whole lot. He beat them. Beat them. Great slaughter. Great slaughter. And he beat them soundly. And this is the other side. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away. This is the sacred. This is the world that we see when we come in to the heavenly. We don't see this as natural people. We do not see a new the heaven of God and a new earth of God. We don't see it. But once we come through, old things are passed away, all things become new. Except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God. Oh, how the new evangelicals boast that, but never contemplate, never think, never come to the truth about the words. Unless you're born again, you cannot see the kingdom of God. We are born again, we see the kingdom of God. And we see the kingdom of God, and we see the heaven above and the earth beneath. The beneath our feet, it's all new. And we plough and we tend to the garden of God that we stand in. It's all spiritual because we are spiritual beings within, the soul within, the real us that has to contend with this old nature, the old man, fighting. We see a new heaven, we see a new earth as soon as we come through from conviction. Being converted, we see, oh yes, a new heaven and a new earth. And this is what John is speaking of here. And if you have never seen with the mind's eye and the spirit of the soul a new heaven and a new earth, that you belong there and not here, you've never come through the regeneration. You're still dead in trespasses and sins. You've never risen. The first resurrection has never come to you to see a new heaven and a new earth. Do you know, even one of your own, D.L. Moody said he saw a new heaven and an earth, but of course that was a delusion for him. Oh well. You can see that by the life that he led. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away. Now then, what does it say further? And there was no more sea. No more sea. Right, mister. Your heaven being new, your earth being new, God having sinned, according to you, your doctrine and message, it's going to transform the whole world. It's going to be peace. yes, for how long? He'll probably go again with the millennialist message for 1,000 years. Alright? We'll put that to one side a moment. But it's going to be, according to this fella, brand new heaven. And a brand new earth. It's not going to be burnt up. Oh no, when it says the heavens and the earth and all the elements are reserved for fire against that great day, Christ will come as a thief, in which the elements shall melt with fervent heat. That means it's going to be transformed, the earth is going to be burnt up. No, you tell me something. Come on, everybody tell me something. You're standing on a new earth, you're looking up at a new heaven. Hallelujah, praise the Lord. Hey, oh, hey brother, hey, no more backbiting, no more contention, no more wars, nothing, everybody's loving one another. A perfect world. And of course, in this man's world, the Jews reign. They have their hegemony. It all goes back to the Old Testament book of peace. Ah, bless. Bless. Aye. And you know something? Within less than a year, the world is populated by the dead in this man's world. Dead. Every single being, every creature, every insect is dead. How do we know that? Well, what does it say? I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away. Now if these are material things, as this man says, okay, let's follow on. The Lord has a sense of humour, you know. God has a sense of humour, because he adds this because of these people. Okay? And there was no more sea. And there was no more sea. I love the humour that Jehovah expresses. No more sea. So there's no more water. There's no more clouds. There's no water anywhere. Huh? No more sea. Well, you can dig down into the through the mantle of the earth or whatever, and dig some wells, millions and millions and millions of wells. Oh, absolutely ridiculous. Because you wouldn't have to dig millions and millions of wells in order to keep yourself alive, would you? Because in a perfect world, you'd have water on hand, on tap. What a situation that world will be, eh? One moment you're walking along there with your wife and your children and in-laws and the rest of it, and everybody else is smiling at one another. And oh, yeah, hello Fred, lovely day, innit? New heaven, new earth, no more sin, no more fall. Oh yes, everybody you see has been converted. Oh yes. They've been given a new heart. The heart is wicked, you know. Desperately wicked. God has changed the heart, therefore they're a new creature in the world itself. So they're all redeemed. You see where these people lead to, these false prophets. Everybody's redeemed. And as they're walking along, oh, I need to find some water. I'm thirsty. Well, there's none in the shops. no clouds raining water, no more seas with water. What are we going to do? Well, this is a perfect world, it must have water. Why has God taken away all the water? Can't be a perfect world if there's no more water in it. What are you doing on the ground here? Oh dear, died of dehydration. Middle East, falling like flies. Bump, bump. Yeah, you can stand there and watch them fall. Bump, bump, all over the place. Water, water, water. Eh? Incredible, isn't it? But God has a sense of humour. He puts that in because of these. Because of these people. And I saw the city New Jerusalem coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. So, in the millennialism, which this felony no doubt embraces, he sees not only a new heaven and a new earth, physical, but a physical Jerusalem. How about that? Eh? How about that? I tell you what, in that day, well, just before that day, you better settle upon whatever that day is, because it's a very dangerous day. Can you imagine walking along through this world and a pig and spade comes out of heaven? Eh? Oh, I'll finish with that, Angel Gabriel. Oh, is that right, Harry? Oh, what we're going to do with it? We've been down to B&Q. Okay, we've got the sand and cement, we've got the bricks. What we do now, we've got all this left over and the pallets. I'll just dump it overboard. Well, there are people down there, so what? It'll give testimony that there is a physical city that we have built, laboured, sweated over, which is sin, which is the outcome of sin. I'll just chuck it overboard, so watch out for the sand and cement, the pallets, the shovels, cement mixers, raining down from heaven. Yeah, ridiculous. And I saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride, adorned for her husband. Now, when John sees this, he's talking about the church. Okay? New Jerusalem. Let's go on. Come on now. Let's go on to verse 9. And there came unto me one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials full of the 7 last plagues, and talked with me, saying, Come hither, I will show thee the bride, the Lamb's wife. And he carried me away in the spirit to a great high mountain, and showed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from God. We are, as Christians, the bride of Christ, the New Jerusalem. And the great mountain, of course, is the greatest mountain of all. Zion, which stands for justification by faith. Let us go further with this man. Remember, he is saying that there's a new heaven and there's a new earth. And that man, therefore, has a new heart given to him by God in that instant in time. So he's a Christian. Because only Christians are given new hearts. A new heart means new disposition. They've also been regenerated. All the enmity has gone, and death has gone. Spiritual and physical death has been vanquished in his death. Everything's perfect. What he is expressing is the spirit of Judaism. Judaism. Because that is what Judaism teaches. That everything shall be perfect at a given day and point in time. Everything shall be renewed, the heaven, the earth, and the Jews shall rule the world. This great big hegemony. And the world will come and worship the Jews. At all their festivals, feasts and ceremonies, the world's going to come. Oh, it's going to come. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You know something, ladies and gentlemen? The hypocrisy of nominal Christianity is quite unbelievable. When I were a young child, okay, babe in Christ, being pushed along in his pram, I was talking to this brethren man, and they claim not to have any ministers and special people. Everybody just joins in. And he was talking about this end times. And I said, I don't believe you. I can't see it. What about this, this and this? Well, eventually, days passed and he came to me and he said, I'll take you to a brother. He'll explain it to you. To observe the feasts and the festivals and Pentecost and whatever, all the rest of it, okay? I simply said to him, right. So billions of people are going to make their way to a small plot of land. How are they going to get into that small plot of land?